Hi everybody and welcome back to Jaffa Cooks, and today I'm going to make an authentic Lahore street food. It's called chickpea salad or Chana Chaat. And it's one of those, I would say, dishes that will give you that tangy, sweet, chili and that taste at the end. Eaten very often with all sorts of samosas. You can eat it on its own. So I'm going to put this together, and in the end I'll show you how to serve it. So the ingredients are very fresh, very simple, it's very healthy. So you could really just create enough to last you 3-4 days, put it in the fridge, and just when you feel like it, devour it. Okay. So before I start, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much for all those who are subscribing and all those messages. Thank you very much. I haven't had time to read all of them, but I will get back to you for sharing all the messages. Follow me on Instagram, DM me if you need any special requests. Okay, so what I've done is basically I've taken a couple of tins of chickpeas and I've put them to one side. And what I want to do is, one of the things I've realized, and especially over the years, is that when you have so many ingredients, if you don't mix them correctly, you get lumps and grains. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some of the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients, and then I'll make sure that they're pasted in properly, and then I'll start introducing the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so I've got some lemon juice. Next is tamarind chutney. Now, if you haven't got tamarind chutney, you could always really just buy it off the shelf. But for those who don't have tamarind chutney, you could use brown sugar to just sweeten it up, and maybe add another half a tablespoon of lemon juice to give it that additional acidity. So then I've got some additional spices. I've got some chaat masala here, some chili powder, and I've got some zira here, also known as cumin. So I'm just going to give that a quick mix, just to make sure that it mixes in nicely and it becomes a paste. So when I do introduce the other ingredients, they take on the taste uniformly. Okay. So once my paste is ready, I'm just going to introduce the chickpeas. Now, do taste your chickpeas, because some of them do come with some salt, and I've kept the salt to one side. Mine actually don't have any salt, so I'll introduce salt to it later on. Just going to start mixing this in, because chickpeas are the main ingredient in this. You need to make sure that every one of those gets at least some coating. Next comes the onions, and they're just finely chopped onions. Going to put the tomatoes in. Now this is just a regular tomato, seeded, and there's a couple of chilies here. Now I'm going to say a couple of chilies because we like our dishes hot, but in your case, if you do taste your chilies before you chop them up, just to see how hot they are. Do de-seed them if you want. So I'm just going to quickly give that a mix, and you can see that the colours are coming out really nicely. I'm sure it tastes even nicer as well. I'm tempted to go in with a big spoonful, but just haven't finished yet, and that's why. I've left the potatoes till the end, and the reason that is because those potatoes are diced and boiled to the point where they're just ready to eat, and then they're brought down, cooled right down, and then I'll introduce them to the salad in a couple of minutes. Right, once the mixture's ready, where everything is mixed in, then you can introduce your potatoes. And at this point, we don't want to mix the potatoes too much, because we don't want them breaking up. We still want to keep them as whole as possible. So I'm just going to fold instead of mixing, just making sure that most of the area of that potato is covered with some form of that spicy, tangy, chutney, chili paste that I created in the beginning. So I think that's pretty much done. I've got some coriander. Most probably you've got coriander already in your pantry, in your fridge. I would recommend fresh coriander. It gives it that additional aroma, taste, and there's nothing like fresh herbs. Okay, so now I'm just going to actually, with a nice large spoon, without double dipping, take a good bite and taste it and see what it's like before I add the salt. Doesn't need salt. I can feel it, I can taste the chili. There's tanginess in it, sweetness in it. So the acidity and the sugar work together. So that chutney paste does work well. The only thing that's missing is some salt, so I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. And we don't want to overpower it because we don't want it to just taste like salted potatoes and chickpeas. We do still want the taste of that tanginess and that sweetness with the chili. I'm going to take another bite, see what it tastes like. Spot on. Secret ingredients: taste your food whilst you're making it. And that's basically about it. That's as good as it gets. Try it yourself. Tell me how it turns out. Send me a picture or two. See you again. Take care. And try my recipes and let me know how they turn out. Bye for now.